So this past weekend's US Grand Prix at Austin, Circuit of the Americas, lots of things went down. We're definitely not in a title fight. There's no way there's a title fight going on. This is all hoopla. This is all being overblown, if you ask me. For as many times as Lando attempted to overtake Verstappen in the closing end of the race, he should have got it done. He had the tire offset, six laps fresher tires than Verstappen, but wasn't able to do it. Should he have done it going in the back straight? Perhaps not. He should have chanced it on turn one and, held his breath through the S's. But it's hard to see it because we finally get Red Bull on the back foot. Verstappen, he's holding on for dear life, and I got to be honest with you, he's doing a fantastic job of it. The defense that he put on against Lando, it was otherworldly, and he managed to maintain it and keep his cool. I get it. They went off on that one corner. They both went off after the back straight. They went wide and both gained an advantage. But even, Max, before Mohammed bin Sulayem told him, hey, you can't curse anymore, I feel like we've got a little bit more of a tamed down Max Verstappen. That's one piece of the race right there. So overall, Verstappen, clear title winner. He's got my money. One other thing that I'm really surprised about is the Liam Lawson, Alonso, whatever you call it, whatever you got going on there. Liam Lawson, hey, the guy's just trying to get a race. He's just trying to get a seat, trying to get that 2025 seat or whatever, or try to get up to the Red Bull seat because Checo's totally on the outs. Alonso told him after the sprint race, he told Lawson that he was going to screw him. And, Alonso started messing with Liam Lawson's head into qualifying. And ultimately, Lawson laid down the law. And he showed Alonso, hey, I'm not going to get intimidated by you, old man. Granted, Alonso does the same exact shit, too. Like, he pulls in front of people. He pulls all sorts of racecrafty stuff. So I find it quite ironic and quite hypocritical, which is a natural trait of any racing driver, that they'll deny wrongdoing when it's, when they're the victim. So overall, Yuki Tsunoda spun, flippin' Hamilton spun on lap 2, Russell with the penalty, a lot of stuff went down in the US Grand Prix. And I finally feel like we're entering this period of disarray, which is great, which is just ramping up the 2025 season even more, because now we have two teams that are, at the sharp end of the field. So overall, I'm really happy that Ferrari won. Those guys have been fast all weekend. Sainz elbows out throughout the sprint, throughout the first 5 laps, he was challenging Leclerc in the sprint, just knocking on the door, asking questions the entire time. And lap 1 of the race, obviously Lando's going to bottle it. It just shows, how could you just mess up the first fucking corner every time? Every time. Well, not every time, but 75 to 80% of the fucking time. You have the fastest car, the least amount of degradation. The only thing you got to do is get the clean fucking air, and you can't even do that. So, yeah. So I'm really glad that Leclerc got the win. He just drove it brilliantly. You barely even saw the guy. And hats off to Ferrari. Just a great job, Fred Vasseur. Ever since Mattia Binotto right now has to be just like going, what did I do wrong? And now he's with Sauber. So yeah. Ferrari win. Verstappen still rating on top. Lando bottling it. Liam Lawson knocking out the old man. Franco Colapinto handing Alex Albon, his ass on a silver platter for the second time. That's another thing, too. I think the whole Albon thing, consistent driver, great driver, not going to knock him. But I feel like it's you can sell garlic mashed potatoes only so much. And now you have a guy that is, literally hitting the ground running in one of the backmarker teams, scoring points. The only faux pas that he committed this weekend was in Q3 of the actual qualifying for the race. He couldn't, he spun in that one corner, causing the yellow flag. Excuse me. But, yeah, he's just doing a great job and he's knocking out of the park. And it's actually quite refreshing. And it just reiterates the fact that the sport needs fresh air. The owners of the sport should be pressuring the fucking, whoever should be pressuring the team principals in order to get some new blood into those seats. Because clearly these F2 guys are just knocking out of the park. Behrman with his 7th. He's beating Valtteri Bottas right now for this. I mean, it's just insane. A guy that's only ran 2 races is faster, has more points than one guy that's been racing his entire life. Colapinto, Lawson, we have a whole bunch of young talent. And I can automatically already tell you right off the bat that Bottas, Stroll, Joe, and Ocon, Magnussen's on the way out, should go. And speaking of on the way out, if I hear anybody else talking about Ricciardo, please just give it the fuck up. The guy got paid $18 million for McLaren to leave for being such a shit driver. Yeah, he didn't get a send-off. It's Helmut Marko. What are you expecting? The guy looks like he's a Bond villain, for Christ's sake. He's got a glass eye. So, yes, a lot transpired this weekend. It's going to transpire some more as the night goes on because, this is my new existence. So, yeah, talking to YouTube. But it's very nice. So, anyway, ciao.